Call the meeting to order.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Open Public Meetings Act statement.
Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, notice of this meeting was forwarded to the official township newspapers posted on the bulletin board and township website. This meeting is being videotaped and will be on Channel 9.
Roll call.
Mr. Fiorella?
Here.
Mr. Marsh?
Here.
Mayor Bruno?
Here. Can I get a motion to approve the correspondence and reports?
Motion to approve correspondence and reports.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
A motion to approve the minutes from January 14th, 2025.
Motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to approve the bill list?
Motion to approve bill list.
Second.
Barb?
Mr. Fiorella?
Yes.
Mr. Marsh?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Can I get a motion to approve the 2025 licenses for food handling?
Motion to approve the license.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to approve raffles and bingo?
Motion to approve raffles and bingo.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to approve the transfer of Porchtown Recyclers to, Towhsnip Committee?
Was it just a license? Just right now, the junkyard license?
Yes.
All right, motion to approve the transfer.
Second.
Is that all? All in favor, Barb? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Can I get a motion to open the first public portion for resolutions below?
Motion, open the first public portion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
For resolutions.
For the
Resolution, the ones listed below.
The documents.
The resolutions listed below.
R39 through R45.
Oh, okay.
Open public's at the end.
The salary ordinance, that's one of them.
Yes.
Or ask questions about?
Yes.
So R4025, what is the percentage of increase?
3%.
3% across the board
Yes.
for all the employees?
A few years ago, the Public Works got, I believe it was $4,160, and then a 3% or 2% at the time. This year, the police got $3,000 plus 3%, and this is just the administration employees, and the non-union employees are going to get the same.
So the chief of police,
Chief of police is getting more than the rest of them to line his salary with what's happening around the county for chiefs.
how much is that increase?
He had to get, once you raise the other ones, he had to be within $5,000, I believe. And then it was the equivalent of about $15,000.
So I'm just going from top to bottom. What was the salary of the chief of police in last year?
I got my phone.
147 or something, 145?
147?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
And that now it's 167, 276?
That's what it says here.
That's a lot more than 3%.
I said 15,000
Plus 3%.
plus 3%.
And how about the township administrator?
$3,000 and 3%.
I don't know. I mean, that's a big increase from top to bottom in this kind of economy. I don't know, if you ran that by the public, I don't know if they would approve of those kind of increases. Do you have an opinion, Nate?
Yeah, I do. You'll see my opinion when I vote on it.
judge, what was the salary?
Same, that hasn't changed.
Okay. Now, what about some of the other questions that I might have?
Pertaining
Other
to,
than,
they're at the end.
okay.
Second public portion, yes.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Harry Kennedy, 1578 Towhsnip Road. As you said, all the salary increases with the acceptance of the chief, the 3% increase,
3%, $3,000 and 3%.
whichever was.
No,
whichever
no.
was least. They all got a minimum.
They all got what the
$3,000.
union, they all got what the union employees got, some
Okay.
way, shape, or form, correct?
So when you signed the original agreement with Mr. Finley, it provides that the governing body of any municipality, administrator, so on and so forth, the administrator should be made by the mayor and executive office of the municipality with the advice and consent of the governing body, and that the term of office of the municipal administrator shall be at the pleasure of the governing body. And you set the salary at 125, I believe, in October.
That was
of
probably
22, right.
22, yes.
Right. So the salary is increased from 125 to 134.
Approximately, yeah. I don't have the numbers in front of me.
That employment agreement that you have online is the employment agreement that you have with Mr. Finley there.
We have one for him, we have one for, chief, we have one for a couple of the girls in the office, correct?
Right. And most of your salaries, I mean, we're not one of the biggest municipalities in the state, as you're well aware. And most of our salaries are not in a very high percentile area. The clerk is an anomaly. The clerk is in the 90th percentile of clerk salaries, and is very well paid, but certainly she has provided duties above and beyond what the clerk normally does. However, that is way beyond what most clerks should pay. Just for your information, and we can talk about the rest of it later on. Thank you very much for your time.
Yep.
Thank you.
Dave Marshall, 67 New Road, Meligan. Some of the salaries were already hit upon. The one that stuck out for me was the assistant to the construction official. When I'm looking at what the construction official gets and the assistant, between the two of them, they get paid a pretty substantial amount over most construction officials that are full-time. So
Who's the construction official you're referencing?
There's only one on the list.
Sal?
It says technical assistant construction official.
He didn't get a raise.
He didn't get anything.
So the technical assistant construction official, which is $53,518.
That's Jen, it's the taco, I think you're talking about.
Yeah, how'd you come up with that amount? I'm just looking at what assistants get.
That amount, she had a salary, and that amount was $3,000 and 3%.
How about originally then?
Originally, I think she started probably about $45,000 2 years ago.
Roughly.
And they get, they get normally what the union employees
I
get.
understand how the raises work. I'm just looking for the basis on it.
Yeah.
Most assistants are $38,000 to $49,000.
She's a-
And that's what counts 10 times bigger than we are.
She does permits, stuff like that. She's more than just an assistant to Sal.
I kind of figured because he's part-time also.
Right.
Yeah, so I figured she did more, but I was just curious from where that basis came from. The other question I had is in reference to the HVAC. I know back in October, all the bids at that point in time were declined because of the substantial amount they were. I think you had told me, Mr. Finley, they were over $2.1 million on average.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
So what is our basis for choosing this individual, and what is this one actually cost?
Well, there was a lot of stuff in the other bid that we're not gonna do, like we don't need radiant baseboard heat if we got forced hot air heat.
Okay.
Yeah, they
And
kinda.
the 2.1 million was for the entire building. We've broken it down into sections now, so this is phase one.
Well, that's why I'm asking, so what is our total cost going to be then?
I think the bid was 332.
Yeah, that's for phase one.
Correct.
We don't
yeah.
need anything else right now.
So this will end at that, there is not going to be any phase two?
The other two sections are working at this point, so the initial bid was for everything, because by doing that, then we can go back out for other bids on different phases. So this is the main section where the Historical Society is.
There's a couple problems
The
with
new
the
lobby.
HVAC in those two areas.
Yeah.
It's hot in the lobby,
Correct.
it's cold in the lobby, it's the, historical
This is where
center.
the senior center is and where the actual renovations to the library are, they're actually both operating well. The center portion is the main factor, and that's where we're gonna fix now.
Okay. But again, where's our final cost going to lie? How many phases are we doing here?
I would say it would be 3 if we ended up doing everything, but as of right now, we're gonna do this phase 1, and then we won't have to do any more for a couple of years.
Okay, so it's not a 6-month plan and an 8-month
No.
plan? That's what I was looking to see
Yeah,
how
no,
these
no, no.
phases unfold.
No, yeah, so, and this phase has already been budgeted a year and a half ago, so the money is just sitting there waiting to have the plan done, so.
And how do we pick this particular vendor?
They had to put bids in, so they
Okay.
had the specs, and we ended up, I think it was 5 bids, I forget, I think there was
4.
5 bids to it.
Township engineer reviewed the bid submissions, this is the low bid.
These are after the first bids in October. This is another set of bids? Or
Oh, yeah, but no, we put it out again as
Okay.
phase 1, and
Okay, that's what I kind of figured out.
he bid on the first time also, I believe.
All right, just asking. Thank you.
Yep. Can I get a motion to close the first public portion?
Motion to close. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 3925, authorizing the mayor to sign and enter a memorandum of understanding between the New Jersey Motor Vehicle Commission and the Township of Franklin to participate in the limited online access program.
Motion R3925. Second.
Mr. Fiorella?
Yes.
Mr. Marsh?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Resolution 4025, designating employee salary for certain positions in accordance with the salary ordinance for the year 2025.
Motion R4025. Second.
Mr. Fiorella?
Yes.
Mr. Marsh?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Resolution 4125, authorizing tax collectors to grant tax exemption for a totally disabled veteran.
Motion R4125. Second.
Mr. Fiorella?
Yes.
Mr. Marsh?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Resolution 4225, authorizing the hiring of Eric Sampson to full-time mechanic probationary status for Township of Franklin Public Works Department.
Motion R4225. Second.
Mr. Fiorella?
Yes.
Mr. Marsh?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Resolution 4325, authorizing Township of Franklin through the Franklin Township Police Department to participate in the Defense Logistics Agency Law Enforcement Support Office 1033 program to enable the Franklin Township Police Department to request and acquire, this is good, excess Department of Defense equipment.
Motion R4325. Second.
Mr. Fiorella?
Yes.
Mr. Marsh?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes.
We getting Hummers and rocket propelled
And then we're
grenades?
gonna have, what's his name, a Doge guy come down and
Yeah.
run back. Resolution 4425, awarding contract to LGB Mechanical, Inc. for professional services connection with the HVAC Phase 1 Community Center Library Project in the Township of Franklin.
Motion R4425. Second.
Mr. Fiorella?
Yes.
Mr. Marsh?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Resolution 4525, authorizing the temporary increase of hours of Jessica Jones to part-time administrative intern for the Township of Franklin Joint Municipal Court due to the retirement of Jackie Pace.
Motion R4525. Second.
Mr. Fiorella?
Yes.
Mr. Marsh?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Can I get a motion to open the second public portion?
Motion open second public portion. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Good evening, Nancy Kennedy, 711 St. George Street.
Don't it?
I feel like I should be doing.
I think you can tilt it. Or you want a stool?
I just wanted to take a minute, I heard you say Jackie Pace's name, and I worked with her for many years in the court, and Jackie was a tremendous asset to the township in her different roles when she was employed here. She's certainly an asset as a resident. So I just wanted to take a minute, I think she worked here something like 30 years. So that's pretty impressive. And I just wanted to thank Jackie and her family for the sacrifices I'm sure they made. And Mr. Marsh, just anecdotally, I heard a rumor that I was planning on running this year for Township Committee. And given the fact that you're running, I just wanted to tell you that I definitely would not be doing that. From what I can see, you do everything you can to stand up for the residents, and you know your own mind, and I just wanted to take a minute and say thank you.
Thank you.
One more thing, whatever we pay our chiefs of police, whether it's Chief DeCesare, whether it was Chief Zimmer, but every chief that I've worked with has been well worth whatever we pay. So I just wanted that on the record as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Williamstown Road is a county road between Coles Mill Road and Towhsnip Road. And so I
don't think it's.
No, it's not. It's a township road. We adopted that highway back in the
county, but
80s.
it's not entirely county.
Coles Mill to the township line is ours. Coles Mill to Route 40, Route 47 into Iona Lake is county.
So I'll go Coles Mill to
Tuckahoe.
That county.
No, it's ours.
That's yours.
Yes.
Okay. You need to.
They were out there the other day, they did a couple, pretty good size, for them, pretty good size cutting patches out there. So, you know, I think it's on the list to be,
We have the DOT funding for it. CME is doing the actual
Engineering
prelim work, and we should hopefully have it for the March meeting to be able to implement the program for that.
So we'll.
it's gonna be redone, yeah.
Redone.
Is that gonna go in phases, or they're gonna do the whole thing?
It's 3.3 miles, and we have funding for about 2 to 2.2 miles, so we've got to decide what we want to do with that last 1.1 mile.
We'll just have to put in for it again.
Right.
'Cause that's 2 years' worth, right? What they're
Correct,
doing
that's
now?
why we held it that way, because instead of trying to make, because it's such a heavily traveled road, instead of doing 3 phases, we wanted to try and do it in 2 or 1 total.
It's like when we did Dutch Mill Road, we were only getting about a mile at a time, right?
It was 5 or 6 phases.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter the phases, but it's dangerous.
No, they took a couple, we had a couple complaints. They took care of a couple of the bigger
All right.
spots.
That's good. And then, so this year, we're pulling back our meeting amounts. per
Correct.
month From 2 to 1.
Correct.
And I wanted to ask why.
Just because we don't really need to have 2 meetings a month.
Save you guys trips up here. Save some gas.
Well, I don't know. I mean, all the other towns that surround us, Washington Township, Monroe, Clayton, Uniborough, they all have, I think even Uniborough's is 3, but all the others have a minimum of 2 meetings a month. So your stipend, is that cut in half?
If you want it to be, it can be.
Yeah.
All right? If you want it to be, it can be, okay? I'll give half to you if you need it.
Well, I don't need it.
Okay. Well, then you shouldn't concern you about our stipends then.
I'm concerned resident.
You think these guys only work once a month, I guess that's what you're getting at?
No, because it's a big town. There's a lot that goes on.
It's a big town, there's a lot that goes on. I agree.
And
And these guys are available every day of the week,
have to be addressed.
and they get addressed.
30 days, you know,
But,
3 times a month. That's fair.
again, that's opinion, and you're entitled to that.
Aaron Kennedy, 1578 Frank Mill Road. There was a notice on your new webpage that the Township Administration Building would be closed from 12 to 1 for a staff development program. I wonder what that staff development program was.
Matt?
It was for the retirement of Jackie Pace, for the
Okay.
employees, so they would know 29 years that, you know, do a career, and so everybody got, instead of taking staggered lunches, we had all lunch at one time.
So it was a retirement luncheon, in other words.
All the
The
staff.
definition of a staff development program is a structured set of activities that help employees improve their skills and advance their careers. These programs can include training sessions, mentorship programs, and workshops. Why not just say it was a retirement luncheon? I mean, why mislead the public? Was there any particular reason for that? I mean, retirement luncheon is fine. It's exactly what Nancy said. The lady spent 29 years here. That's great. But it is what it is. If it's a retirement luncheon, it's a retirement luncheon. Tell the truth. It always works. The other thing that I found most interesting is the Township Administrator Agreement. Remember when I came up here the first time, I read you from the Township Administrator Agreement that's online. And it very clearly points out what the duties are and what the results are of the employment of Mr. Finley. But there's another contract that Mr. Finley has that wasn't online, and it adds a paragraph. It says that Mr. Finley is entitled to 5 years of a contract. And the 5 years is sort of contradictory to what it says about administrators. The administrators should serve at the pleasure of the Township Committee. Now, nobody ever knew that that existed until suddenly it became available in a document dump. So what was online was nothing like Mr. Finley's actual contract.
I believe his original contract that was for a 5-year term.
Oh, you are so wrong, so wrong. Nobody gives a 5-year contract to an administrator. They serve at the pleasure of the township.
Exactly, and
committee.
tomorrow, if we decided we wanted to fire Mr. Finley, we could do it with a
That's not what it
4-person.
says in his 5-year
Well,
contract.
state statute says otherwise,
Well,
so.
so it was amazing. It happened right after the negotiation took place with Mr. Rohn and that hipper-dipper deal.
Oh, here we
on
go
that,
again.
yeah, that special, well, I'm sure that'll come up much more in the very near future, Mr. Mayor.
All right, I hope
But
it
it's
does.
interesting that that was the case. You gave them a 5-year contract and you didn't put it online. You put it in a special codicil that wasn't available to the public. The second thing I thought that the Township Committee should be made aware of, my favorite movies was The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And a lot of good things happened in Franklin Township. You guys did a great job on the vaccination, the dogs, people were great that worked there. Township Park seems to be coming along very well. Needed to be done, you guys are doing a very good job on that. The fact that the fire departments responded so well to that fire was a testament to the fire departments, and also a testament to our emergency management coordinator. That was handled as well as any professional I've ever seen do marketing and public relations.
I agree.
It was done perfectly, and as a person that oversaw those departments at a $92 million business, it was perfect. Mayor, your release to the town was right on schedule. And evacuating those school children was smart, well done, well thought out, well planned. There were just a couple things about that fire that raise a question. And I'm going to leave this particular paper with you guys, because all those things were done well. The zoning board did it well. You guys had litigation against those people to shut it. But I know you all know Barbara Halpern, and Barbara and I aren't exactly the best of friends, but she's somebody that's one of the best environmentalists I've ever seen. And I'm just going to read you what she wrote on Facebook. It should never have been permitted to operate in that zone and was operated with no permits. The township allowed it to continue to operate in violation of many state and local laws, and will tell you all kinds of excuses. I was told by our administrator that he contacted every agency to try and stop it. That was a lie. I called DCA, Department of Community Affairs, the agency that oversees construction, planning, zoning, and land use boards, and they never heard of it. Again, gentlemen, it is very important that the truth be utilized, whether it's a retirement luncheon or whether it's actually doing what you say you're going to do. I'm going to leave that here, and maybe all of you should peruse it, because veracity is one of the most important qualities we have. By the way, I've referred that and given it to Mr. Rick Panetta in Vineland. I thought he'd be very interested in seeing the truthfulness of our administrator. Thank you.
Matt, would you like to just comment on where we've been through this process with that in particular?
Let's
Ms. White.
get through.
Okay.
Dave Marshall, 67, we voted now, right? I didn't want to ask on the first one, but I saw that the roof on the community center had been taken care of, which I'm sure it needed.
Yep.
But I don't remember seeing where that ever went out to bids.
Insurance company paid for it.
It was damage repair?
Yes.
Okay. That's why when they asked, and then why again was that particular vendor chosen?
Through bid.
Okay, but again, where were the bids done then? There's nothing posted online about it. Okay, it was all bids they took care of. Where do they post the bids at? I'm just curious.
I don't know.
Okay.
I think they reach out to local vendors and stuff like that and get bids in. insurance adjuster took care of all of it.
Okay, so it didn't cost us anything, except for
Cost us
the premiums.
$1,000.
And the deductible, right. So, but I said it probably needed it, I think it was getting due anyway, but I can't recall. I want to thank you for getting back to me on the email in reference to the location over there behind the church.
Malaga.
I'm sure you've all seen that, and it's just progressively getting worse, and with the add-ons that you saw before it becomes a problem, like kitty color, the full place, I don't know what's in the barrels, I don't know where they
No,
went.
I talked to Chief Bulbsara
Where's
today,
Kitty
so
Cow?
he was out there. He took some pictures and is going to reach out to the owner. We've tried to talk to him. We have him pending court, and that's kind of where we're
Nothing else
at.
can be done faster than that. The reason I'm bringing it up is Elmer had a similar situation. The mayor actually forced the owner of the property to come to a public meeting and invited the public out so they could have an open discussion with the property owners, and at that point in time, because of the amount of public that came out, the owner agreed to everything, actually signed it right there at the meeting. I mean, it made it, he has really nice backbone and did it, got the guy out there to do it, so.
Based on the conversation with this guy, he's not going to come to the meeting, I don't think. So.
Now, I don't know, and I don't know what, this sounds like this one won't put once also, last thing I'm gonna know is going to have to Salem County's tougher than we are, I think we can do a little bit better job than them. But I'd like to see something done, before it becomes a nightmare for the township and the taxpayer back.
We had an agreement for the pool guy too to be shut down by first year, and you see how that went.
Well, that's why I'm asking, is obviously he's getting results, and I've done the two townships that have done it too, where they get results, I don't know what they're doing different, but there's gotta be somewhere.
We get results from people that actually have a regard for the law.
Well, they wouldn't be doing that to start.
Right, but 90% of the people just fix this stuff. It's the 10% that you spend 2 years in court, and they're never gonna fix it. And in this state, that we're working within the laws that we can't arrest them, we can't close them down, we can send them violations, wait, they go to court, they get postponed, it's unbelievable how slow it is. I drove past that, it's horrible. You should be able to just shut it down, right?
Well, only because it keeps adding to it. What's being added now looks a lot worse than what it was, at least chemically, than what it was.
I remember the first time I drove by when we were doing the pool place, I was like, what's this thing? It's so perfect. The town, once it gets in the legal process, that process moves at its own pace. These guys could write them up every, 30 days, but, the legal process is not fast.
I was looking to see if there's any way to change it, and I know you had mentioned before, you said he may be coming forward he had talked about opening a business here. If you see how he operates now, the last thing you ever want to do is have him operate a business here.
Oh, he'd have to go before the board and all, then we'd have even more, because we'd have a resolution of what he was doing and site plan and everything, so. As of right now, it's a hand-to-hand transfer of land, and it keeps getting more and more stuff delivered. We're taking more and more pictures and summonses, so it'll be all in the judge's hands when it gets to him, so.
When is that date?
I'm not sure when the next date is. He was just supposed to be in 2 weeks ago and postponed it, so I would say probably another couple of weeks.
He postponed or the judge did?
He did, the gentleman did.
I didn't know you could do that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Happens all the time.
And there's no limit to the number of times he goes back.
Thank you.
Piggybacking onto Dave, Mr. Marshall and Mr. Kennedy.
You're only allowed to come up one time, but if it's gonna be quick, we'll let you
Sure,
speak your piece.
Was there, the pool fire, or the pool manufacturer, fiberglass factory, whatever you want to call it?
We don't know yet what it really was.
So was there an expense output for us to respond to that fire? Is it
Chief can speak on that.
So yes, we spent a couple $1,000s on overtime. We spent $9,000 on an excavator that had to be purchased and brought in to sift through the
Rented.
rented.
With an operator.
We had to pay gas for vehicles. I was able to put together a package and get a hold of the gentleman's attorney, sent them the bill, and he came in and paid for everything with that. So
Was it roughly
we're
like
reimbursed
10?
for all of our expenses.
Just under $11,000.
Just under $11,000.
as a municipality?
Yes.
But that didn't include the public schools?
No. He reached out, he reached out to them a couple
And that
times
didn't
about
include our
the
fire
cost.
district as well?
We got reimbursed for their gas.
The fire district?
For Forest
Forest
Grove.
Grove Fire, we paid for all their gas. They were the fire department on scene the longest. They needed to get a fuel truck out there. We were able to get them to pay for the gas. You paid for all of the police department overtime expenses. You paid for the excavator. You paid for the canteen that came out that fed all the first responders.
Is there more than one district that responded?
There was probably about 25.
There was people from all over.
Okay.
Rosenhay was one of them, right? Yeah,
As far as the expenses that we put out, you paid us back.
Okay, because basically, it was a non-permitted operation. It was illegal. They didn't have a CO. They didn't have all their paperwork. So they were operating, what, illegally?
Mr. Mayor, unpermitted, unapproved.
We've been in litigation with them for years on these exact issues. And there have been hearings, there have been 2 hearings in Superior Court this year, in addition to the municipal enforcement hearings with Mr. Finley. We have, the Township Committee undertook that legal action, I believe it was in 2023.
It's a perfect example. It's been in the courts for 2 years, year and a half, 2 years.
And it's the municipality?
He was in court the day before the building burned down.
Yeah, there was a hearing in Superior Court on Thursday, or Friday, Wednesday, no, Tuesday, and then the building burned Thursday.
Thursday or Friday?
Thursday.
Now, I find it hard to believe that 2 years without locking them out and allowing this.
Yeah.
We were told there's nothing else we could do. There's nobody I ever met in this town that was supportive of that. Any politician, not even a resident, except for people involved.
They were bringing in hazardous waste.
The DEP was out there, Ocean was out there, all these different organizations, Pinelands, Wetland, everybody. When it's in court, it's in court.
I've never seen it, you know, it's unbelievable that the township is just so helpless that they couldn't do anything about something that bad before the explosion.
We weren't allowed to inspect the building.
I agree with you 100%. 100%.
Need a motion to close second public portion?
Motion to close.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Committee reports? Mike?
Make it quick, snow's coming down, I have nothing.
Mark?
Not so much committee. I would just like to thank the fire companies and the police for dealing with the fire.
Next door to my house.
I'd also like to thank DPW for the work they did on Malaga Park. I know they didn't install the equipment, but Mr. Finley was telling me that, he did a lot of the grading and will be in charge of the fencing, so I'd like to thank him for that. And I'd like to thank Mr. Finley for the heading up the roof project for the library. It turned out great.
Tim? Chief?
As of right now, it is getting pretty bad out. We've had 5 accidents in the last half hour. So I'm going to call.
Well, you should put the freaky down here.
See if they can get going a little sooner. But most of them have been on the state highway or county highways. So I'm going to find out when I get done here what they're doing with salt and one of the accidents was involving one of our police cars, so I'm going to take off and make sure everything's all right.
That's how bad they are.
County just activated at 7 o'clock, and Jared is in the DPW getting ready to call it out. All right.
Thank you.
Matt, you want to give us a little history on what actually happened with the pool guy? Briefly, Matt? Not you. You were out there a couple times too, though.
I mean, it started before I came here in February of '22. And then once, as Committeeman Doyle had said, we tried to get OSHA out there, we tried to get New Jersey DEP out there, Pinelands, everybody, sending them pictures. County OEM was involved with us, State Hazardous Materials. Everybody came out, everybody thought it was a horrible thing, and nobody would take the next step. We were in the courts with the, filing injunctions against them, trying to get someone to tell us to close them down. And it just never worked. So even though Mr. Kennedy and Ms. Halpern like to disparage my name in public, it's not true. So the proof is out there. So
I asked many times, how can we not do anything more about this? Lawyers, Matt, state people,
Who's the guy I met out there that day?
County OEM.
County OEM guy told me, he goes, hey, I recognize you. I'm like, yeah. He goes, yeah, I've been out here like 14 times. And I said, yeah. And you haven't done a thing about what's going on out here. No one has helped out. So, you know, OSHA was out there, I believe, and somebody got sick in their presence.
Both of them got
Two of
sick.
the people working there got sick. They did nothing about it. Everybody that lives out
They told us they
there.
were coming back with an emergent order and shut them down, and we never heard from them or saw them again.
So, I mean, I understand the frustration that Barbara has, but, you
We
know,
have the same frustration.
We litigated with the intent to get it closed down. The agreement that was not followed through, that was the end result, is that there would be a removal by the end of last year. And I know on reorganization day, which was the deadline, there was a drive-by inspection to see if there was compliance.
it actually seemed to me like he actually brought more stuff in. So,
Until the fire, then all of a sudden he cleared everything out.
yeah, there wasn't no big excavators or anything out there at that point, so.
Yep.
But, again, thank you for coming out. Be careful going home, and, that being said, can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
But afterwards, they were ready to chat. So you might want to remember that. I'm sure we can talk in
Sure. Do you know?